Good evening, good evening, good evening to all you wisdom walkers out there. Want to be wisdom walkers, should be wisdom walking, will be wisdom walking. This is Joja Maria and Saroma coming to you tonight with my wisdom walk talk for the month of October 2025. And as always, I want to start off my program by first honoring the ancestors. Yes. Of course, I acknowledge my two teachers, Melidoma and Sobonfu Some, and I ask you to think about who are those people that contributed greatly to your life, who are no longer on the earth plane, but definitely are guides for you, persons that really help you keep on the right path, keep on the right track. So join me now as I invoke our ancestors. You can say their names out loud. They really like that. And we will get our opening here in a sacred and correct manner. Ashe. Ancestors, ancestors, ancestors. We call out to you in the middle of the fourth quarter of 2025 and ask you to enable us to value and understand acceptance and non attachment as our rod and our staff for moving through this chaotic, confusing, and painful Earth year. Guide us safely through our personal and collective challenges and enable us to trust that everything is happening for a divine reason which we cannot yet understand. Grant us the courage to practice negative capability, which is embracing uncertainty and mystery without seeking out facts or reasons. Continue to grant us access to our higher timeline where we know that unconditional love is the ultimate reward for our self mastery. Continue to give us the strength and courage to honor this new age and new earth consciousness, daring greatly to live out our new narratives, and knowing that these are divinely scripted for ourselves and for our world. And most importantly, continue to enable us to move forth from the dark ages of modernity by placing our heads below our hearts, valuing people over profits, and always choosing love over fear. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I say amen. Ashe Ahoasa, Shinga Bismillah. And so it is. Wonderful. Wonderful. Wow, I've got some comments to share. Let's see. Oh, it's Miss Carmen Ray. Hey, Carmen, how you doing there in sunny Georgia? Yeah. And she's saying hello to the wisdom walkers that are listening in now or will get it on the repeat. Ah, it's been quite a week. There's been a lot going on, and I am just checking my message here because I think somebody else. Oh, okay. There's Christine signing in from Santa Monica. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I love that she gives me the connection back to my paradise. Thank you, Christine. You're amazing, as always. And yeah, it's been quite a week. It's been quite a week, but it seems like things are really ending on a higher note. For me personally, I received a mini version of my friend's wife's birthday cake that he makes. He's an incredible, incredible chef for pastries. I'm sure other things as well. But it was so kind of them to share this sampling with me. I shouldn't even call it sampling. It's just like the mini cake. And oh my God, I had some before I came on, and it's like, oh my God. But let me tell you, this is when you know you're validating yourself, when you allow the universe through friends to bring you a supreme chocolate cake on a Sunday night. Yeah, that's doing your work. Absolutely. And other wonderful things are going on too, different ways in which, we can know that, yeah, it's going to be okay. We're doing what we need to do. Hey, Daphne, loving you too, my darling. Another great wisdom walker. Absolutely. And Carmen says, it's beautiful. All is well. I pray you're doing amazing. And you just heard, I got that cake. I got that cake. Carmen says, yummy. But yeah, we have just a lot of cosmic shifting energy that is going on. There's this interstellar comet called Three Eye Atlas. You can Google it. I recommend either Heather Ensworth, who's an astrologer, or Pamela Gregory doing the information about it to give you a good thing. But there's this guy named Stefan, and I'm blocking on his last name. He does a good thing too. Anyway, it's out there to let us know that we are being taken through a very powerful time to do what? Yeah, what I'm talking about tonight, to validate ourselves, to really step into our confidence, our clarity, and our courage so that we can stay aligned with this new age energy that we have entered into. Absolutely. Now, as you know, for those of you who have been listening in, that my theme for 2025 is unconditional love as the ultimate reward for self mastery. By choosing to master ourselves, we immediately embark on a journey to learn how to love ourselves unconditionally. Unconditional love, love beyond belief, is one of the greatest gifts a human can receive or give. By choosing to transform our attachment to what is external and temporal, unlearn the superficial and complex lifestyle, transcend victimhood and self sabotage, reclaim our authentic self knowledge, and validate our uniqueness through believing we are valuable and enough. Then the rewards of unconditional love will be ours forever. Yeah, isn't that just delicious? It's absolutely delicious and wonderful and so important. So tonight, I am going to really, this is a reminder to you because if you wisdom walk with me, or even if you're listening in for the first time, my job is to really keep repeating in different forms and different ways, but the same message about how important it is for us to really master ourselves. And one of the ways that we do that is by asking ourselves questions about things that we may not want to think about, we may not want to talk about, we may not want to feel about, but unless we do that, we will not move forward to what? Yes, our liberated lifestyle, or what I call our happy endings and fulfillment in life. Yes, so, so, so important. So tonight, I'm going to talk with you about our fifth annual commitment. There are five of them. And this is now time for Validate, which is aligned with our Earth energy frequency. And I titled this, Who Do You Think You Are? Because this is what happens to us on our journey to learn how to validate ourselves. We are going to get challenged by the doubt, by the questioning, by the negativity of the truth of who we are. And I'm going to talk tonight about how shame, blame, and guilt can really be these roadblocks to our ability to validate ourselves. And so we want to get a handle on that. We want to get to learning and practicing how to dismantle and transform those blocks into uplifting wisdom. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll do some personal storytelling with you as usual about that. But let me begin with our opening quote for tonight. This is from a woman by the name of Ganja G. She wrote this wonderful book called The Diamond in Your Pocket, Discovering Your True Radiance. It is about her journey of going from the United States to India and learning from not a guru, but the guru's assistant or protege, and how it shifted her life. And the messages that she puts in that book are so, so powerful. One of them changed my life when she talked about what heartbrokenness really is and what it's for. So, Ganjaji says self inquiry is not a path that leads you somewhere. It's a path that stops you in your tracks so that you can discover directly for yourself who you are. The concept of yourself as a man or a woman doesn't even begin to touch the truth of yourself as consciousness. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So perfect. So perfect there. Hey, Hector. Love your individual balance and presence. Well, thank you, my darling. I love it too. How wonderful. Thank you for that. It's a great compliment. So, shame, blame, guilt. Let's run through these again. And if you have access to my book, The Wisdom Walk to Self Mastery, I pulled this information from chapter 17, which is when we go into the Valley of Still Waters to do a water ritual. So, for those of you familiar with that, just know that that's what I'm going to be suggesting as one of the ways you help to dismantle this energy, these negative energies is by doing your water ritual. So let's begin. Let's begin with shame. Shame is the proverbial wet blanket to living a life of joy and happiness. You experience shame not just from having done something wrong, but also from having something wrong done to you. Shame prohibits you from being your authentic self. It constantly tells you there's something wrong with you. You're bad. This negative belief will compel you to prove that you are not. So, personal story about shame. It's not only, it's not only when something wrong is done to you, it can also show up when something right is done to you. Yeah. And you're dealing with a trauma that has you actually seeing good things being bad. Yeah. Because that's what trauma can do. It can really twist you, especially sexual abuse. And so in my life and my experience, I I got to uncover that. I got to uncover how things going right for me, things being good for me, people doing good things to me felt shameful. Yeah, because I was still in that belief system of there's something wrong with you, you don't deserve this, you're not enough, you haven't done enough, blah 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 blah. So just realize that this shame is a massive block to us becoming and being the truth of who we are. I mean, it just stops you. Because if you can't allow yourself to have the good, like me having this chocolate cake delivered to me today, you know, then you're never going to be what? You're never going to feel good about yourself. You're never going to understand that when the good things show up, that is you validating yourself. That is you telling yourself, good job. I deserve this. And it's how the universe works. The universe is about if you put out good things, then good things come back to you. And again, I lived my life for too long thinking that I wasn't doing good enough. Oh, yeah, this bad thing happened because I missed the mark. I haven't done so. Let me do more. Let me do more. Let me do more. And those of you who followed my journey, that belief that I haven't done enough actually exhausted me last year. And God had to throw me down and say, girl, you need to stop that because you have done more than enough. You've done enough for 5 lifetimes. Can you please take a break now? Yeah, absolutely. So, just for us to stay conscious of that, how we can get it twisted and actually be in a shameful place because good things are happening to us. And again, of course, we know when something bad happens, something negative, um, yeah, shame definitely will show up. But we just don't want it to stay. That's the big message here. Let's go on to our next one, which is about blame. Yes. Blame, like shame, will keep you tethered to the negative person, situations, and thought patterns you experience. Although it is a normal response to blame, we must move to acceptance and forgiveness to escape victim consciousness. Although laying blame on someone or something seems to rectify a situation, it really does not. Unless we take on healing and growing, we will never have a peaceful mind. This is never easy, but it is the way to reclaim the truth of who we are rather than staying stuck in the past, negative beliefs about life and about ourselves. Yeah, I know this one very well. I know this one so well, so well. Carmen says, Amen. Absolutely. And again, I think it really is a developmental process to get to acceptance. And what's the acceptance about? The acceptance is that, like, yeah, somebody did you wrong. Somebody broke your heart, somebody disappointed you, somebody let you down, somebody talked about you behind your back and it came into the front of your face, whatever it is that you feel that you were slighted, done wrong, victimized by. No, at first you're not gonna just say, "Okay, accept this, and now let me get to do my healing work to find out what this is rooted in, how I can be shifting up my belief system so that this never happens again." To get to that, usually you gotta go through a cycle of, this blame, 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 blame. And also with yourself. That's the other point I wanna make here. We will blame ourselves and for things that really weren't our fault. Absolutely. Especially people in codependency, in a codependent relationship, when the partner is mad or, gets violent, um, what the person does or can do to not deal with what's going on with you is say, "Oh, I shouldn't have said it the way I said that. I shouldn't have done what I did. Oh, I know how upset they get when I don't X, Y, and Z, so I should have," Yeah, it's all of that. Blaming yourself for stuff that you're really not responsible for. So, again, this is about let's uncover this. Let's really look at how this keeps us held in the past and in that past belief system. And again, blaming somebody is just not going to work. It's not going to free you up. It's not going to be the answer that you want. It's not going to stop the being a victim from happening. Yeah, not at all. It is to open us up to, "Okay, God, what do I need to do here? Because this really doesn't feel good for me. I'm not liking this at all." Yeah, and that's when we can go into taking corrective action. Yeah, and leaving that person, that situation to heaven, to God, because the only person we have control over, ourselves, is all. Yeah. Wisdom walkers, that's what this is about, right? Absolutely. And then last but not least, in terms of these negative behavioral patterns we can get stuck in is guilt. Guilt, like shame and blame, also interferes with your ability to like, love, and value yourself. Guilt, though, goes one step further in the development of self hatred. It tells you that you are not worthy or deserving of fulfillment in life, meaning you can never have happy endings. Guilt, even more than shame or blame, really fuels self sabotage. It loves to lie and wait until you have achieved a level of success and happiness, then bam, it brings out the wrecking ball to disrupt and, and demolish all of your best efforts. And, we've seen this with a lot of celebrities where it seems like they got it all together. They got the money, they got millions, they got beautiful houses up in the Hollywood Hills, they get to parties, they got cars and all this stuff going on. But then it comes out that, it's a mess. Or they've done things that are like horrendous. Like, what happened to you? What's going on? All that self sabotage stuff. Yeah. Yep, coming out of some guilt. And again, this is stuff that is hidden or things that, especially if it started in childhood or was something in childhood, your brain didn't at the time have a way to really process it. So it blamed you and it stuck that to you so that no matter what you do, you can never get rid of it, or at least that's the belief system. But that's not true. Once we can uncover this, ah, then we can work on it. Absolutely. I tell you, for me, a lot of guilt can show up around not following through on a promise that I made, whether it is a gift I told somebody I would send, paying back money, a big one, um, just somewhere where I didn't follow through with what I did. And instead of being able to communicate to the person or persons to say, I really want to apologize for not having followed through, but just stuff going on. I couldn't do it now. I do intend to do it. I just need some time. And I just want you to know I haven't forgotten. I'm just still in process. Yeah. Can't even do that. Can't even reach out, scared, like, "Oh my god," like, "I'm gonna get sent to jail." And again, it's because of, again, something from childhood for me that, like, yeah. But uncovering that, and Daphne says, hold on, let me show what Daphne says. Uncover and work on it. Woo! So happy it is not stuck in us. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Carmen says, ooh, yeah, yeah. And just recently, there was a situation from the past where I hadn't paid somebody some money back. And I was finally able to reach out, communicate, and say, please forgive me. Um, I know just some stuck trauma that wouldn't let me really follow through with what I promised, but I am going to do that now. Here's how I'd like to do it. I hope this is okay with you. And again, just being able to do that felt so good. Felt so good. Yeah. And we can get so used to like holding on to these negative um belief systems or behaviors and think that this is how it always has to be. But again, it really doesn't. We need to just understand that we can uncover what is going on that is keeping us from loving ourselves. Because when you in guilt, shame, blame, no, there ain't no, oh yeah, I'm just love myself. I'm so wonderful. I'm so good. Yeah. You may say that, but in the back of your mind and in your heart, you're like, "Oh, I didn't pay that person back. Oh, I didn't follow through on that. Oh, I should never have said that. Oh, I didn't." There's all that going on. Yeah. And if you get around psychic people, they can feel that energy. Doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good at all. So let's do a little exercise to help us be able to dismantle these things. Absolutely. Yeah, Carmen says, teach. So the first thing is about understanding that you can use ritual, you can use spiritual medicine. And the one I practice, of course, is from West Africa. And the spiritual medicine's job is to help you get out of your head with solving or resolving this energy because it really is an energetic thing that's going on. Why we can't get out of the guilt, shame, and blame. It really is. And so doing a ritual like the one in my book, the water ritual, will really help to shift up the energetic because water is all about what? Yeah, cleansing, releasing, purifying, getting your mind into a peaceful state. Yeah, it's an energetic cleanse. And so that's what you want to take on. So that's my first guidance for you around this. But even to get to that, hey, Miss Nika, daughter of Oshun, good to see you. Good to see your hearing. um, so I have these contemplative questions, right? Absolutely. So this is for your personal contribution to collective healing because when one of us gets free from blame, shame, and guilt, we all get a little freer. We all get moving. So here are some contemplative questions for dismantling the blocks to self validation. Number one, and I expect you to answer these right now. You can write them down, or this video will be here for you to get back to. But just to take this in, number one, what is something that happened to you for which you are most ashamed? What is something that happened to you for which you are most ashamed? Number two, who do you blame the most for your unhappiness in life and why? Who do you blame the most for your unhappiness in life and why? Number three, what's something in life for which you blame yourself and continue to feel guilty about? What's something in life for which you blame yourself and continue to feel guilty about? And last but not least, number four, how is your unresolved shame, blame, and guilt blocking your success, happiness, peace, or fulfillment in life? What might it be keeping you from doing, having, and being in life? So, again, how is your unresolved shame, blame, and guilt blocking your success, happiness, peace, or fulfillment in life? What might it be keeping you from doing, having, and being in life? Yeah, think about that. Think about that. And, these things really do work. I'm here to testify to that. When we open up to getting to the root of why something is going on, yeah, then we got something to work with. So we can do a water ritual. Prayer, I always tell you, start off with prayer. Start off with prayer because even trying to do a water ritual ain't gonna happen unless you get some help from greater order and direction. Absolutely. Christine Lumpkin says it's blocking abundance. Yes, my dear, it definitely blocks abundance. Yeah. Yeah, and that's why you so many people, and again, this was me. This was me for many, many years, where I was making so much money, I didn't even know how much money I was making. That's how, disconnected I was from my validated self. I didn't even know how much money I was making, and I had, more than enough. I could have saved up for a house. I could have just bought a brand new car for cash. Yeah. Couldn't do it. Could not do it. Couldn't even deal with how much money I had, how much money was flowing in. I couldn't value it. I couldn't, yeah, because I had so much shame and guilt and levels of blame going on in my life. Yeah. So, but I have cleared most of it away. There's always a little some remnant still going on, but for the most part, yeah, I am not stuck in the way that I was before. Absolutely. So, yeah, we can get free, darlings. We definitely can get free. I'm here to tell you that. Yes, yes, yes. So let me share my quote from Miss Sarah with you. It's the one I used last month because it's still so relevant. Miss Sarah said, don't look for someone in whom to believe. Believe in yourself. The only authentic authority is your own original nature. Thank you, Mama Sarah. Yeah. And so that's what I have for you tonight. I hope that it can be very, very helpful to you as we're coming to the end of this year. By the end of this year, we should all be loving ourselves more than we ever have. We should be experiencing more happy endings and fulfillment. Yes, despite that world going to hell in a handbasket, if you are doing your inner work, you should be getting the fruits or the chocolate cake that tells you, yes, you are headed in the right direction. You are doing what it is. Because, like I said, all of this stuff that's going on in the United States and other places around the world where people's freedoms are at risk, this is an inside out job. And I'm so thankful that the protests yesterday were peaceful and people are getting it. You cannot fight hate with violence or hate. You can only fight it with love, and it comes first from loving ourselves. Absolutely. So, as always, I want to shout out to all my regular listeners, watchers out there, to all of you who have wisdom walk with me, and you know who you are, and to my family here in the Midwest and on both coasts, to my spiritual kin and my medicine brothers and sisters around the world, and those who may be listening in or watching for the first time. I want to say thank you. Big thank you, because I could not be doing this without your interest and your commitment to mastering yourself. Absolutely. I have another comment that's come in. This is from Martha McCamey. Hey, Martha. Yes, another spiritual shamanic sister. Thank you for this powerful encouragement to move mountains. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what this is about. Thank you, Martha. And Daphne says, thank you. Oh my God, you are so welcome. So welcome. I have said this and I will keep saying it, but it just depends on when God tells me I am strong enough, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. But I definitely want to do an online something so that you all can get a chance to meet each other, because you're incredible, incredible human beings. The wisdom walking you're doing, especially those of you I'm working with directly, it's so encouraging and inspiring. It is amazing. And that's why I don't lose hope, because I know people are really doing their work. Yeah, they really are. Absolutely. So here's what's coming up for November with my live streams. I'm going to do the elemental wisdom on Wednesday, November 1st, 5th, sorry, which will be the first week in November for an elemental energy. And it's going to start off with Earth. And then, because the full moon is going to be on, I believe it's the 6th of November, I'm going to do the astrology for the first part of November on Sunday, November 2nd. And then the following week, I'll do the second part. And let me tell you, there's over 30 aspects coming in November. The skies are going to be popping. It's on. There's like 24, I counted, from the middle of November until the end of November. It's crazy. And Mercury is going retrograde in November. And then last but not least, my Wisdom Walk Talk will return on Sunday, November the 16th. Yeah. So that's what we got coming up here. And last but not least, some quick promos for my book, Wisdom Walk to Self Mastery. Like I said, chapter 17, if you have access to it. It's also on Kindle, so you can get it if you have that access pretty easy without having to get the hardcover ordered. And you get to chapter 17, do that water ritual. Also, my dear friend Juanita Robertson and Amy Houghton, their book, The Inner Railroad, another wonderful, let's take a journey, a contemplative journey into uncovering what is blocking us from being the best version of ourselves. Highly recommended. She talks about the Dagra medicine wheel a little more detailed than what I do, which is really cool. And then, last but not least, Queen Reverend Adara, her Heart for Healing service, a free online Zoom service, the first and third Wednesdays of every month, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. At her website, you can get the information, spiritismylife.com. And she is just a love, another just incredible human being on this planet. And so, my dears, last but not least, I want to thank my God, my ancestors, my spirit guides, loving entities, everything that walks with me, keeps my head to the sky, my feet to the ground, and my heart open to do this important work with and for all of you. And one thing I want to mention too, another great gift I got this evening. Many years ago, I went out to Toledo, Ohio, and I replicated a program that was done very successfully in Harlem by my great mentor, Dr. Michael Carrera. And I got a chance to work with a handful of families in a public housing site. To me, it was like garden apartments coming from New York and projects, but this was their projects. And in the course of that, I was able to really do some amazing, incredible work. And I say that because I don't even know where I had the energy from. I had fibroid tumors and I was really like on the borderline of pernicious anemia. But for 2 years, working with these preteens and their parents was one of the most incredible, incredible experiences in my life. And there was one girl, really 2 of them, who I intervened in, situations that were going on for them of abuse in the family. And one of them, just called me tonight because I reached out to her for her birthday, and I had reconnected with them, several years ago, but she called tonight, and oh my god, she looks so good. You know, she has her family now, she has children, a loving husband, she lives in a beautiful home, and, you know, she has just come through such challenges as a child to become this incredible, inspiring young woman that she is. And bless her heart, she always thanks me for what I did to contribute to her healing, her growth, and her evolution. But for me, it's such a gift to know that something you could do so many years ago could actually render someone having their happy ending. So, our name is Tony, so a shout out to Tony and a happy birthday. I am just so grateful for you. Absolutely. Oh my God, it's my sister. We were separated at birth, Marilyn Walzak. Suddenly you pop up on my Facebook after so much time. Not a coincidence, I'm guessing. Hell no, girl. You know we need to talk. I promise I'm gonna call you this week. Absolutely, so that we can check in. You have been on my mind. This sister, this sister, oh my God, when I first went to Milwaukee to do human services work, she and I just connected, and she was one of the persons that had me stay in Milwaukee. Marilyn, I don't know if you know this, but it's really true because of her dedication to the community where, you know, to me, it was just frustrating to try to get anything done, to navigate the politics. And she just hung in there. You know, she was amazing. And so she really helped me say, okay, there are people like this here that really care. I'm gonna I'm gonna try. I'm gonna stick it out. So I love you, Marilyn. Thank you all again so much. Have a healthy and safe end of Earth Week, receiving the support you deserve, and embrace the power of self love. Now, continue to strengthen your immune system. You know, the winter is coming here in the Northern Hemisphere. Protect your nervous system by praying for others versus taking on their pain. And most importantly, my darlings, please, please know that you are not disposable. Why is that? Yes, because you are truly divine. And I love you. Take care, and I'll see you in a week or two. Have a great, great rest of your Sunday evening. Bye bye now.